The grand stage awaits a grandstand finish. The Shanghai Masters final about to resume. Ronnie O'Sullivan has won the last 3 stagings of this tournament, and he leads Luca Brecel 6-4, first to 11 to become champion. It's been fast and furious snooker so far. Brecel's had a couple of centuries. O'Sullivan finished the stronger, though, from 4-3 down. He won the last 3 frames of the opening session. So the whole week has been about this last session then to decide the champion, £210,000, and the trophy will be going to one of these 2 fine players, the top 2 ranked players in the game.
Turn 11, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Ronnie O'Sullivan to get the final session of the final of Snooker's Shanghai Masters underway. He leads Luca Brecel 6-4. This is the world #1 versus the world champion. Of course, they had a memorable meeting at the Crucible last season where Brecel produced that incredible 7-frame burst. He's only 6-4 down here. It's first to 11. Long way to go. It's been a quick match. Average frame time just under 14 minutes so far. Brecel's had 2 centuries. O'Sullivan 6 half-centuries. It's turned into really enjoyable contest, but of course the pressure is going to come on this evening. Can O'Sullivan get away early? Can Brecel peg him back? We're going to find out. I'm alongside Neal Foulds to talk you through it.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. It was a very entertaining opening 10 frames. You wonder whether if things got a little tight in this match, things would slow down a little bit or become nervy. But it was open snooker, beautiful snooker to watch, actually. I think that Ronnie O'Sullivan has always been suited in those free-flowing matches. Of course, he lost to Brecel at the World Championships, but
8.
And he's lost before to quick players. But I think he prefers the faster pace of snooker because he can play it that way better than anybody. Well,
he made the early running. He led 3-1, trailed 4-3. Brecel, for 3 frames, was pretty sensational, actually. But O'Sullivan turned it round at the end. He's actually scored 100 fewer points in the match coming into the session, but he won some of the tight ones. As he attempts to win the Shanghai Masters for a 4th successive staging. Of course, it's not been on for 4 years, but he still hasn't lost here since 2016.
A little bit jabby, that one, and I think his mind was on the cue ball, trying to get it around the back of the black, and it was not as smooth as striking with the rest. But I can't think of many shots I've ever seen him miss like that, really, with the rest, even though he infrequently uses it. I've always thought he's very good with it. Already a few nerves, perhaps. I mean, you are forcing those in. He was perfectly on the black. I didn't really expect him to miss, but like O'Sullivan, his mind was on that cue ball, just getting the reds into better places. Well, O'Sullivan, when he gets an opportunity, he doesn't often need a second one. But it's come around quickly. Chance number 2.
Nine.
Did start the tournament a little slowly against Ali Carter, but came through, and then, of course, really should have been beaten by John Higgins, who led him 5-2 couldn't finish him off. O'Sullivan finished the match with 2 centuries. And similar against Mark Selby at the end, 2 centuries to win 10-7.
15.
Yeah, and I think the win against Higgins in that fashion, because you're absolutely right, Higgins looked for the world who's going to win, often is the hallmark of a player who, once getting away with a match like that, will end up going on and winning an event. It's happened over the years. I know that in 2012 he won the German Masters at 1 point, 4-0 down against Andrew Higginson. Best of 9. Could have easily lost that heavily, but won the tournament and almost kick-start his career again. Won the world title that season as well. It's hard to say one match would make all the difference, but sometimes you just need something to go your way.
Yeah, I mean, his focus all week, regardless of how he's been playing, has been exemplary. That's been one factor, clearly. It certainly was with Higgins. He never gave up in that match. And if he can win this tournament, I mean, 4 Shanghai Masters in a row, same tournament, 4 years running, is very rare. The last person actually to win that many in a row was Ronnie O'Sullivan himself, the Premier League. He won it 5 times running in the 2000s.
Yeah, for a while that Premier League, the finals weekend was played after the World Championships, a week after, and of course not everyone was up for it, quite honestly, and Ronnie just played as Ronnie did, and he, 1 year's played up in Manchester in the semi-final and the final were a complete non-event. He just
26.
buried everybody.
One. 32.
Very significant frame to build a 3-frame advantage. You know, it's starting to pull away a little bit. Luca will need to draw on memories of coming from 4 down at 10-6 when they met at the Crucible and reeling off all the remaining frames. You wouldn't ever underestimate Brecel, but he's not at the table right now. There's not much he can do.
Yes, in these long matches, you often get a spell where one player is dominant. At the moment, clearly, that's O'Sullivan, looking to win his 4th successive frame.
$47.
Yeah, still needs another red here.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 47.
So there's enough on with the clearance.
I don't think the middle pockets are particularly easy, especially from an angle, a cute angle like we saw. So, we're always searching for turning points, moments in a match. Luca could really do with winning this frame somehow. It's not that bad a table. I mean, there's not a lot that's difficult, but of course the situation is probably the most difficult. Needs to do it.
Nine.
Yes, for all the sort of buccaneering, barnstorming style of play, it's putting clearances away like this that can really turn matches, certainly psychologically. Just try and keep things simple here. Tight control of the cue ball. And, of course, most importantly, control of himself.
15.
Of course, that cue that he's using is the one that he won the World Championship with. He didn't have it in Germany. It had gone missing in transit, but thankfully he's reunited with it and has played some good stuff this week.
16.
Probably already thinking about getting on the left-hand red, which I'd suspect will be the last of the two that he attempts. I'm saying that, I think he played a 2-in-1 shot. He knew he would be on the red to the right corner, but he looks like he's tackling the other red now, or he could do.
23.
To be a little watchful of which colours he takes. He can't go very low value with this red. He's got to go for the more profitable colours.
24.
Terrific shot, isn't it? I mean, I hasten to say that he's well and truly favoured to clear, because it doesn't mean he will. Blue is what he has to take here, or more.
30. 31. $38. 40.
Well, he can win by a point. More than a couple of points, in fact, but the point is he really needs to take these now. He's done so well to get to this juncture. Probably the last difficult shot, just getting in behind the blue nicely.
47.
That red that O'Sullivan missed in the middle, it was a fairly acute angle.
Yeah, and the problem he had was there was nothing safe. He was going to be leaving this chance. Brecel's looked very cool, been taking it, pink and black, to win an important
58.
frame, because the danger was the final was going to be going away from him.
65.
But Luca Brecel duly makes the clearance. So dramatic start to the concluding session of this Shanghai Masters final. Ronnie O'Sullivan's lead is cut to 6-5. So great clearance from Luca Brecel has launched the final session of what is a very exciting Shanghai Masters final. I think we felt it would be, but sometimes it can end up one-sided. This is, at the moment, a bit of a thriller.
Yes, it was just the consummate ease in which he cleared Brecel there. He never gave the impression that he was ever going to miss those. It's very early in the season, and I guess if Luca Brecel won the Shanghai Masters today, then all the talk of him as champion, maybe not having the best of seasons, and beating this man twice, not only at the Crucible but here, it'll be the dream start. That's not necessarily going to help his cause, though. He got a bit of cover on the blue. I reckon so. Poor shot from Brecel. Played in behind the brown, caught it too thick. The red, of course, was not supposed to finish over the pocket either.
One.
There's quite a bit riding on that shot, wasn't there, with the other red over the pocket?
Thought Brecel said something interesting before the final. He was talking about the approaches, because they're both attacking players. He said, I'm more attacking than Ronnie is. He said, he's more measured than me, but in the balls is the best ever. So I've got to be careful, A, to take my chances, and B, not to leave him any. And this is one here for O'Sullivan to hit back after that last frame.
Yes, where O'Sullivan was very good already in this break was from the yellow. He played on the red that was on the black spot. And that is where he is a master break builder.
11.
Very often it's the first few shots, 3, 4, 5 shots where the key balls have been moved or potted, clearing the decks for all the rest. And that's where this frame has already commenced. He's given himself a chance. Looks to be in good order to me. We were not sure going into this event
19.
what sort of form he might be in, but I think
20.
he's been inspired by the big matches.
Yeah, and I think he feels, you know, this is a sort of event that deserves his attention, frankly. You know, you get treated well. It's a prestige tournament. It's not a cast of thousands. There's plenty of room backstage and all the rest of it.
27.
Of course, one of the great cities of the world, Shanghai.
28.
Yes, the Brecel safety shot was just hit with too much of the red
35.
that he caught, and that's why Brecel is sitting down and has done ever since. Well, that pocket again. That pocket again, the red in the previous frame. We were right behind it. I mean, had he played it slowly, I think it would have gone in, but at that pace, it had no right to drop, and it didn't. Well, maybe the red to the middle. The one up into the top left must be inviting as well. Ooh. Sullivan will be surprised but very pleased to be back at the table so soon.
You're just slightly distracted there.
One.
Well, it's a reprieve for O'Sullivan, although that same thing happened in the last frame because he didn't ultimately win it. So let's see if he can now kill this off. I think Fergal's marathon frame record is not going to be under threat in this match. This is whipping by, isn't it?
No, I think not. I think not.
Your record's safe, Fergal.
8. 9.
We've seen a lot of Fergal this week. He actually mentions it more than we do. It comes up a bit in conversation.
O'Sullivan, before the match, was saying nice things about Brecel. He said he's his favourite player to watch. It's an interesting rivalry, I think, because obviously there's 20 years between them. O'Sullivan is very established at the top of the game. Brecel is looking to... Now he's won the World Championship, fully establish himself there for many years to come.
Beautiful little shot there, wasn't it? His control is as good as ever. It's a surprise when he makes a
25.
positional error. Now, if this goes in and it's too many, but the red that follows it will guarantee that his two-frame lead has been restored. Brecel had that chance, though, which he didn't pot the first red even.
33.
Yeah, it's kind of what he said. As I said, he said, if I don't take my chances, I'll be punished. And he wasn't the first part of the frame, but he has been in the second part. O'Sullivan looking for his 77th professional title, all told.
38.
in this glorious career that continues at the very highest level.
39. $46. 47. 52.
Not quite on that red, I don't think. Doesn't matter. $52. Second chance in the frame. Another quick one. It's gone to O'Sullivan, who restores his 2-frame advantage. So in this race to 11, O'Sullivan leads Brecel by 7 frames to 5.
From 13. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
7-5 then to Ronnie O'Sullivan in the Shanghai Masters final. 2 frames to come before the interval. Brecel looking to stay in touch here before the concluding mini session.
I think the problem all attacking players like Brecel have had against O'Sullivan over the years, and of course some has beaten him, some have beaten him as Brecel has done. It's just that that style of game really seems to suit him. He loves playing quick players, the Jack Lisowski types and people like that, because he seems to play that game better than most. Even though he's 48 this year, still plays the game like a young man. Oh, that's a great shot, isn't it? What a shot that is. Swerve to get a 2-cushion thin contact on a red. Beautiful. Looks good. There seems to be like a fairly big target area down the right side, just one cushion into them. Various reds in a line. Just lay into the bunch. Well, he got a smattering of applause, but I think the red is reachable. We've got the low camera angle, and it always looked as if it was going to find his way to the pocket, that one. Ronnie put his hand up to apologise, but of course Luca could knock this in, ball in hand. He had no knowledge of getting through that little gap there, O'Sullivan. That's not easy, but he would have expected to get it, I think. Curing shot like this, dead straight. Put the cue ball dead straight deliberately.
Yeah, he was getting plenty of those in the first session, but they're not flying in yet in this one.
1.
Now, a left-handed shot on the table for probably blue.
5.
Don't think he'd be interested in touching the black here or going for the black. I mean, he might end up with no shot on the blue, but really, the problem with the black is I don't know whether, when respotted, it will be potable everywhere. Because he's not on the blue the right side, he may have to play it.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 5.
Unexpected, that one.
One.
From 3-2 down earlier, he made Brecel 75, 98, which would have been a century, but for an in-off, and 103, and he just looked unstoppable for what was not very long. It was about 20 minutes or so. So that's what we know he's capable of. We saw it when they met at the Crucible, but you may feel he's got to try and produce that this evening.
Yes, I mean, as you say, you know, he's 4 down at the Crucible overnight.
9.
Yeah, kind of 3 down here in Shanghai. It seems a long way to come back. And of course, that being 4 down, he did it at the start of the session. He played a brilliant last day of that match against O'Sullivan. Well, he deserved a better fate than that. He's on a red, but it's not easy.
No, but the very fact he ended up on the green off that red, it tells you that he wasn't quite in control. He needs to recover here with the rest. And it stays out. So he sort of lost his way early on in that break. He was unlucky, though, not to land on a red nicer than that.
One.
That was not good. A little bit of a lazy shot from O'Sullivan there. He potted the blue into the corner of the pocket, not into the middle, and as a consequence, the cue ball just drifted further away from the red. I think he played on the red by the pink. Poor shot on the blue for him.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 6.
Just had a slight lapse in his concentration this frame. Missed that bad shot on the black, and then the shot on the blue in some ways was even worse. It was a bit casual.
1.
Well, there's a big shot coming up because he's played on the black, and that will open up all the reds and could be a frame winner if he was to get this shot right. Doesn't like the bridging, does he, at all? Not even seen him use that sort of bridge before. Always showing his knuckles on the shot.
Nine.
Well, not so much hit and hope, but he didn't really know how that was going to pan out.
14.
I don't think there's very much on. Could be a very thin red to the right corner. Played it well. Deserved a better kiss than
15.
that.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a positive player, isn't he? He's always going to try and keep the break going, but sometimes you just have to accept it's done.
Green ball.
Yeah, I mean, you can't pot them if they're not there to pot. It's as simple as that. I mean, this snooker probably, you would say that O'Sullivan will get out of it without leaving much on. Don't think Luca had any other shot but to play it. I think sometimes you're looking for something further down the line here. When he rolls into the reds, he might leave it touching. So then you've got the advantage of the balls. Not quite this time.
It's an interesting point in the match, I think, because O'Sullivan's 7-5 is a useful lead, but in this frame, for whatever reason, he hasn't looked so good. He's been missing and just getting a little frustrated. So Brecel can't afford to set up an easy opener, which is maybe what he's looking for right now, O'Sullivan. Not been many sort of disjointed frames, but they all count the same, of course.
Well, that's a big mistake this time. Surely Brecel can capitalise on that. And there's no doubt that O'Sullivan's concentration has gone. Cue ball crashed into another red.
1.
Didn't pot that cleanly. Just got to make sure that he gets this frame one. Gets to within one frame.
Eight. 9.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely done most of the scoring in the match. O'Sullivan's highest break 78. He's only had 3 half centuries, even though he's 7-5 up. Brecel 2 big centuries and quite a few other sizable breaks, but his cue ball is running and running. It's okay. It does go on a bit of an adventure at times, doesn't it? It's got to be said.
Well, it's one of the reasons it makes him an exciting player, isn't it? You know, it was all a bit of a sort of death-defying sort of trapeze act or something, isn't it? It's not always textbook.
15.
You know, he finds ways of recovering a break. Still not enough in this. It'll be 40 in it when the blue is potted. Oh, there's an example of the cue ball going running. Look at this for a shot. This is a great shot. He's almost put it too much on this. Exactly what he was trying there.
$21.
Needs another red after this black.
$28. $29.
Yeah, a typical Brecel contribution, really. Eye-catching. Times a little dicey, but he kept it going. Sullivan had quite a few chances in the frame, but we're back to within one again.
35. $42. 43. $50. 52. $55. Luca Brecel,
55 will do nicely. Luca Brecel pulls one back, and this is still a tight final with one frame to come before the last interval. Ronnie O'Sullivan leads 7-6.
Frame 14. Luca Brecel to break.
Well, it would certainly set things up nicely if Brecel could win this frame and make it 7-all going into the final mini session. O'Sullivan, of course, not interested in that. He's looking for 8-6, but either way, it could yet be a very close finish to this Shanghai Masters final, and great for the Chinese snooker public. Have been waiting for 4 years to see these top stars again. They've been served up, as I say, a bit of a thriller.
Oh dear. I think there's a gap through to the red. That was not difficult. That was not difficult. I think he played it with a bit of right-hand side to try and bring the cue ball away from the cushion for the blue. I mean, look at this. This is a pretty easy shot. Very easy, in fact.
One. Five.
Well, that was unwelcome, hitting the bump of the middle pocket. He tried to come down for the red directly above the black to the right corner. Still played it from there.
Luca Brecel 5.
Looks quite a difficult plant this. He's got to cut the first red thinner than the potting angle to make the other one a possibility. He's played a series of not very good shots at all, Sullivan. The last 6 or 7 shots, barely one of them has been as planned. Spanning at the end of the last frame and a few shots he's played in this one. Not sure why, but that's what's happened. Well, the importance of this frame seems not lost on either player.
Yeah, I mean, Sullivan's in front, 7-6, but the last sort of 20 minutes, Brecel may have felt, well, there's chances to really punish some mistakes. That was one there. He didn't do it.
1.
We saw against Higgins how he was struggling and then suddenly things just changed.
Seven.
He really wanted to be on the blue there. It was such an easy shot to get from blue to red. Bolt colour to red. He's got to play a screw shot here. Bit of power. Looks okay though.
Ten. Eleven.
I think that wasn't his first option. to get on that red, I'm sure. He had no angle on the blue to get on anything else. Someone's moved, I think, in his eye line there.
Well, Sullivan battling to find something here, and it's the fact that he's been battling all week, which is why he's in the final, of course. When things haven't been going so well, he's dug in, shown a lot of resolution.
23.
In common with Neal, a man whose birthday is today, Ken Doherty, former world champion. He seems to look younger every year, though, Ken.
He's never changed, has he? And he still plays a good game of snooker. Often the last to leave the bar in the evenings as well.
Well, he's going to play Ronnie in the new Wuhan Open. In fact, I think he's drawn him in 2 events in China. The International Championship as well.
29.
Well, he's got slightly embedded in those reds there. He's a quite good split, but just a degree of difficulty about this queuing near another red. Yeah, it was the red, I think, that was very close to the cue ball. It was a big distraction. Had that gone in, you can't imagine that he wouldn't have won the frame from there. Now, if there's going to be another turning point, another twist, Luca with another long straight one. He missed one when he had ball in hand earlier. But this one is just off straight. You can see the distances. What a shot. What a shot. The fact that it was off straight is why he played it the way he did. He's always got the roll-up option if he feels that any pot is a little too risky.
Some of the shots he plays, you know, you could cut together a highlights reel just of him. You'd think he would never lose a match. But, of course, it's just the one shot to get in, often.
Brown ball.
He's looking at the plant now. He's played the positive shot again, but the reds covering one another.
Yeah, this could have finished anywhere down there, and he finished slightly awkwardly. Dare he play that right-hand red? The plant's not quite on. It's, as we're looking on that screen, it's top right jaw. So it's not directly in line. That's okay. That is okay. Very crucial passage of play in the context of the whole match, the whole tournament. Luca wins his frame and gets back to all square. Then after they come back to conclude, he's got a slightly different look about it this match. Because Ronnie started with 2 frames in the way of a lead coming into tonight. It might be wiped out here.
Yeah, and I do think the concern for O'Sullivan is not scoring. It's winning frames really in 2 or 3 visits, which we don't associate with him, of course, the game's greatest break builder. Maybe he needs the interval to come just to clear his mind. He'd still like to be 8-6 up, though. So Brecel knows this is a big visit.
Crucially, he's the other side of the blue, which is perfectly okay. What a chance this is now. Yes, he's a few behind. Doesn't mean a lot where the balls are.
$19.
I'd like to think any kiss on the middle bit of those 3 would be all right. Well, he did glance it. I'm not sure he played to. But again, it's absolutely A1. Your minds are now drawn to that red on the right of the table.
27.
It's right-handed player when it does come about. Shouldn't really need the rest for this shot.
$34. 35. $42. 43.
A lot depends on which colour he takes off this last red. He wouldn't want to have to need the green. Yellow would love to be frame ball, because the green could be a problem, I think. He's played that well, hasn't he? Right behind it. So the lead is 12.
48.
Plus those 7 and 19.
49.
Beg your pardon. Correction.
Well, he'll need it now, won't he? Because he'll be 23 with the blue, so 25 with the yellow, 25 on.
Yeah, I suppose that it's got the cushion, though, still, isn't he, of the fact that he'll be able to only tie O'Sullivan. I think in a situation like this, you know, don't do anything too fancy. Make sure you do get to that 25-point lead with that many on, rather than risk missing the yellow playing a massive shot. Well, he's still trying, isn't he? And that's the kind of cavalier player he is. But he's still
56.
He's not getting anywhere near being on the green. However, he'd like to think he'll get the snooker here. He doesn't want to just overrun it. He's got just the cushion of clearance takes it to a respot as a worst case scenario.
Luca Brecel,
I think he
56.
might be okay. You could see what could happen there. It could just run and run, that cue ball. Well, for the neutral, it would have completely set up the remaining frames if Brecel won this one. Oh, fantastic pot. Yes, he was only playing to pot it and not get on the brown, but barring a couple of snookers, he has won this frame. Goodness, what a match we've got here.
Luca Brecel, 3.
Yeah, could not be set up better, could it? O'Sullivan, he's already walking off, I think, here. He's seen enough. So Brecel, I'm sure, was looking to win the mini session. That's exactly what he's done. So from 6-4 down, the players head into the last interval of the Shanghai Masters final, all square at 7 each. Here we go, then the resumption of the Shanghai Masters final. It could not be set up better. 7 each between Ronnie O'Sullivan, the world number 1, and Luca Brecel, the world champion. First to 11 to become champion here this evening at the grand stage. It was 6-4 to O'Sullivan. Indeed, it was 7-5, but Brecel has fought back. So all to play for. Still a possible 7 frames left. Well, he just was struggling a bit before the interval, but he's had 15 minutes to collect his thoughts as he lines this long red up. There it goes.
Yeah, I mean, it may have been more. I mean, people talk about concentration going. His focus did not quite seem to be there. Maybe they're the two of the same things, but as you say, that he's got to concentrate his mind now because there are no more breaks. It's right through to someone winning the title here between this pair.
Well, it was a good sign with the red going in. It was a bad sign, clearly, missing that by such a distance. The thing is, I mean, it's a long match, isn't it, for one day, 21 frames. I can't think of any other tournaments where in a single match you play 21 frames that day. So it is a test of concentration for sure, even though it's been a quick match.
1.
Well, that's the point, isn't it? I mean, if you'd have had a match where there were half-hour frames all the way through it, it would seem too much of almost a test of endurance, which is not really what we're looking for in snooker. But it's been entertaining, but there's still quite a long way to go, in fact, isn't it? It's best of 7 from here. It's one of those shots where you don't know whether you want to go in off 2 cushions with lots of left-hand side, or maybe play less side and open them off the 3rd cushion, the black cushion. Either way,
Luca Brecel 6.
one player will have to take charge of this match from this point. Ronnie knows that Luca can beat him, otherwise he wouldn't have done so at the World Championships. Of course, from 10-6 down, he played brilliantly. Maybe that memory is in there somewhere for O'Sullivan. He's not phased. Brecel. Luca is not to be underestimated under any circumstances. I think we know that about him now, what he achieved at the Crucible. A very telling safety shot potentially. He had the brown ball in his eye line. This would be hard to get safe from. I don't know what the plan was there, quite frankly. I don't think there was one.
Enemies. Ronnie O'Sullivan 4.
I wonder if there's a temptation to have these put back, because I don't think Luca knew exactly what he was doing there with regards to leaving it safe. Anyway, Ronnie probably popped this, I suppose. Yeah, so best not to have it put back. Just a bit half-hearted, wasn't it, the Brecel shot? No great thought process in how he was going to escape from that snooker.
Six.
Now, when the black is respotted, is it clear? I think it is, to the right corner.
13. 40.
A bit awkward queuing, but he really wanted to move the red just below and to the left of the black, away if he could. Might still be able to here, perhaps. Just grazed it, that's nice. Just pushed it down from its position.
21.
Black will be freed up completely in a minute. This is where he is an absolute master. I mean, people talk of, if you're old enough to talk about top of the table billiards, where players play beautiful cannons and nursery cannons, all of these shots which they have become absolutely amazing at. Snooker's equivalent really is O'Sullivan around the black spot.
30.
He's an artist getting the balls into positions where he wants them. He's done it here again.
Yes, and now
37.
the frame's at his mercy. I think his concentration did go, but his attitude has been the key thing this week, really. He's come here, clearly he's a tournament he respects hugely, having won it so many times. He was even out, at the opening ceremony, taking part in that. That was a little kick, I think.
I think you're right. I was about to say, Dave, that to me was heavy. And for that reason, his next shot is slightly more tricky than it should be. But it looks like he's recovered it well. You don't like to see a player's chances of making a break stopped by a bad contact. And where's the cue ball going this time?
48.
When he potted that red in the middle, he played on the pink, I would think, there, and ended up playing the yellow. And this frame has not been put away from something where you'd have... you might not have put your house on it, but you probably would have lost your garden shed there, thinking he wouldn't win the frame. It looked a certainty, didn't it?
Well, certainly when he developed the reds, he got into them. He just looked over the frame, but things went wrong, and it's only 47 in it. Another frame where he's not made a sizable break. It's been a bit of a pattern today, really.
I tell you, that is a handy little nudge on the blue ball, which doesn't give O'Sullivan a very easy escape up the table. Is he going to find a way? Goodness me, that didn't look like there was a path back. Can't think how he expected to get cue ball through a gap there. Reds were moving at the time. Well, now, is there a twist in this frame? There could be.
Well, he made a terrific clearance, didn't he? First frame of the night, 65 to pinch it on the black. He's not led since he was 4-3 up earlier on.
Eight. Nine.
Yeah, what's he on is the question. He's looking down the line.
60.
Is he on the red? I think he is, the right-hand red. And he didn't push the other red safe either. Which is handy for him.
70.
Well, he potted it into the right side of the pocket and he wanted to pot it into the left side and hold. Could have run it around of two cushions there. Didn't think that one through overly. Now this recovery shot is big. It was even thinner than I first thought because it only just reached. Most of the cue ball didn't quite reach the middle pocket.
It's real watch through the finger stuff, isn't it, with Luca Brecel? He finds some pots, he finds some areas of the table. He knew straight away that wasn't going in. And that could be frame over.
Pressure was just building in that break, wasn't it? Things were getting more difficult by the shot.
Well, it's another reprieve for O'Sullivan. I mean, Brecel, if he doesn't win tonight, and there's a long way to go, we'll look back on moments like this, really.
1.
Because O'Sullivan is being given the openings rather than sort of earning them. Not his problem, of course. He's trying to get to 11. That's the target.
4.
Needs the two reds here for 8-7.
5.
Yeah, a little bit of a relieved O'Sullivan, I should think. Inwardly, you wouldn't know it necessarily looking at him, but he knows he should have won this frame before now, but at least he has won it.
Yeah, I mean, as much as at times he struggled this week, you know, players have got to take advantage when they get the chance, because you know at some point it'll come good. He did against Higgins in the end. He did against Selby in the end. Actually, Ali Carter as well put him under some early pressure. He's responded each time. Brecel could have gone back in front there,
17.
but once again, he's going to be chasing this final. He just lost his way. Again, the cue ball was finding past the table he didn't really want it to find.
24.
Well, this audience loved that one. Putting the ball across the baulk cushion. So Brecel had the chance to steal, he didn't take it, and Ronnie O'Sullivan delighted to get in for that contribution. He's back in front in this thrilling Shanghai Masters final at 8-7.
From 16, Luca Brecel to break.
So Luca Brecel gets the final underway again, frame 16. 8-7 it is to Ronnie O'Sullivan, looking for a fourth successive Shanghai Masters title. Of course, one of those was the ranking event version. He beat Judd Trump. Since then, he's beaten Barry Hawkins and Sean Murphy in the final.
Well, he didn't get all that close to that one. It was usually with those he's got extreme accuracy. Didn't even hit the jaw. Wow, well, he can get to it with the black there.
It might be a photographer possibly there, just moving in his eye line.
Now, if you can get the appropriate cannon on the red above the black, this could be an early chance. And that'll do it nicely.
Yeah, if he can win a frame in one visit, then that really does put Brecel under pressure, because most of the frames O'Sullivan has won today, he's needed several chances. But if he can start to score, then obviously he's a big favourite. Highest break 78 today from O'Sullivan.
16. 17.
Well, he really got into them there. I thought he was going into the bunch, but he started to get enough spin just to be on the loose red.
$25. $32.
Well, he will have to get into the bunch. I'm just wondering how and when.
33.
He's played it pretty well without any great luck here. I don't see what more he could have done.
40.
Now, one that will test his long game here, this red, up into the green pocket. No, he's passed the test. And some, that was a good shot. Oh, hard stun shot there. It wasn't obvious that he'd left a chance, Brecel. The cue ball and the red were very close together from the miss that Brecel played into the left corner. But
45.
only a couple of minutes later, we see that he's taken this break quite a long way already.
46.
It's a very good shot, isn't it, to get across there like that, swing it wide
53.
on these tables with the cloths and the cushions slide a little bit. It's hard to play that shot.
54.
I think expect a nudge into the bunch here rather than anything too pacey. Beautiful, delightful shot. That is how to get the reds open. What a shot.
And this is the thing
61.
we were saying earlier, you know, he's not bound to sort of struggle for long. We know it's in there. We've seen it this week. It's come out again here. Ronnie O'Sullivan maybe starting to make a dash for the winning line.
What if he's got any interest in the high break, David, in 141? He can get there, but
69.
can't afford too many more low-value colours. Worth £10,000. John Higgins is the man in possession.
Yeah, as if he's not inflicted enough misery on John already in this tournament, winning from 5-2 down.
Well, he can get 144 if he keeps going red-black. Wouldn't be entirely sure whether O'Sullivan has even
77.
considered it, because not always the case with him. Still think about that century. It was his 1000th, wasn't it, where he ended up going off the black and Neal Robertson won the high break prize because of it.
Yeah, Robertson was fully aware of that. It makes the next
78.
frame big, obviously. If he can get to 10, then Brecel really does have it all to do. But it's how he's won this one that will concern the Belgian, I'm sure. He did say beforehand, Ronnie O'Sullivan, once he gets in, is the best player amongst the balls, and this is why.
85.
Well, it's been a fabulous break, Dave. It really has.
86.
I mean, the way he's crafted this cue ball around the angles, he got into the bunch at the appropriate moment to go up for the brown ball on one occasion. Now he's on this red, goodness me.
93.
The break could be in jeopardy here.
94.
Well, it's black for Century. He's first of the final. Wonderful stuff. Once again from Ronnie O'Sullivan, his 7th of the tournament.
101. 102.
Even that shot was terrific. Screwing back and leaving the angle perfectly to get on the red. Oh, what about that for a place to put the cue ball? If you put it there with your hand,
109.
it would be absolutely exactly where it is now.
110.
John Higgins may have expected the break to go at some point. When you get to the last mini session of the final, obviously it's less likely. But the fact is there's still 27 on here for a 143.
116. 118. 121. 122. 125.
Well, he's gone too far. Did not play on this down into the green pocket, top right.
130.
But it's been a truly magnificent break, and of course over the years we've seen some spellbinding breaks from O'Sullivan, but this one has been as good as most of them. It's been superb.
The black for the highest break of the tournament. In a key frame in the final, 1-4-3, a glorious total clearance from Ronnie O'Sullivan. He could have gone 8-7 down, but of course he won the last frame, and with that 1-4-3, he's just 2 from victory at 9-7.
Frame 17, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Ronnie O'Sullivan needs 2 more frames to retain this Shanghai Masters title. He leads Luca Brecel 9-7. He's won the last frame with a magnificent break of 143, the highest of the tournament. That'll be worth 10,000, assuming he's not beaten by Brecel.
Well, talk about a red going over a pocket. We had one over each pocket there, and after on the back of that break, you don't really want to leave him anything. Never mind a choice of reds.
One.
Playing it slowly, you never quite know if you're going to get a minor drift. Be okay with where it finished. Just feel that he might be at the point where he's, I could say unstoppable, but that's not quite it. But very inspired stuff from O'Sullivan when he needs it most. Breaking all the rules there. You're meant to sort of, if you're changing your mind between what you're going to play on, you're meant to start again, but he just did it on the shot.
$40. 15. 21. 28.
Yes, he was just about on it. Couldn't really control the cue ball and take it out of bolt, so the big shot's going to have to continue if the break's to continue. Great shot, but I don't know if he's on the red or not. I think the blue might be covering. I don't see how much more he could have done with that shot than what he did.
No, I mean, he's sort of out-Lucering Luca at the minute, isn't he? But break looks like it's over. Well, maybe not. The red's gone in.
Luca got out of his chair, didn't he? In the expectation of playing the next shot. What does he do here? Is he looking to take it even further, or you saw it hit 2 reds on the way through, the one that was potted.
Wow, big shot, great shot. So, okay, he was lucky with the fluke, but that brown he had to get. He's going for the jugular now,
36.
Sensing a big chance, feeling confident again, cueing brilliantly.
37.
This is still a struggle right now.
$42.
Amazing, this is it.
43.
This break is keeping going somehow. I'm not sure quite how. Yes, he had the fluke. I mean, the break in the previous frame was absolute, complete, and utter control of the cue ball. This time, it's been a very different break. But he's going to try and cut the brown in. It's thin. Now what? I've read up into
47.
the green pocket, perhaps. The other one possibly into the yellow pocket. The options are there, but the shots, both of them, are difficult. Doesn't seem to be any stopping it at the moment.
No, I mean, this has looked like a sort of Brecel break, hasn't it? There's a sort of adventurous way he's made it.
Well, Luca's only hope is that somehow he leaves this over the pocket, but that's the only hope, really. You don't feel it's going to happen
56.
because he doesn't look like missing right now.
Well, he had a great chance to lead 8-7, but in a couple of moments' time, he could be 10-7 down, 1 from defeat. Just shows how things can change.
Just one more red after this, and which red he could go into the 4 or play on the red down the cushion. And that's, I think, the consummate match play shot. Just roll this red in, get the frame 1, and see where the break ends. But no heroics here, I don't suppose.
63.
This is frame ball.
Very different break to the last one. But surely a frame winning break all the same. He was in complete control in the last frame. In this one, he's seen parts of the table he didn't know existed. But he's kept it going. Okay, got a fluke, but he's played some great stuff as well. And this could be another century. He's got all the reds into play. So he's well and truly made his move in this final. And it's been the story, really, of the tournament for him. There have been times when he has looked vulnerable, but his opponents haven't taken advantage. And it's a tall order, clearly, now for Brecel to turn this round.
79. 80. $86. 87. 93. 94.
So the pink for back-to-back centuries. Spellbinding stuff, this.
Yeah, I mean, you can just see that the kind of break it's been in
100.
contrast to the previous.
102.
The various different colours he's had to take. He's been up and down the table. Cue ball's been everywhere. Whereas in the last frame, it was a magnificent display of cue ball control. This is more sort of free and easy stuff from O'Sullivan. More than one way for him to make a century break.
109.
And Luca got up, didn't he? He understandably thought he was going to play another shot. Then he got the fluke. And he sat back down again.
114.
8 centuries now in the 4 matches he's played in this tournament. Who's going to beat him in Shanghai? Nobody has since 2016. It might be another 12 months before anyone gets the chance. 120 to follow the 143. Brecel now is going to have to win the last 4 because Ronnie O'Sullivan is 1 from claiming the trophy again. He leads by 10 frames to 7. Well, Luca Brecel getting some support here, as a lot of people would like to see him make this a lot closer. But he's in trouble. He's just sat out 2 centuries from Ronnie O'Sullivan. It's 10-7 to O'Sullivan. He needs 1. Brecel needs all 4.
Well, it feels really difficult to think of a way back from here. I guess you've got to get to 11. You've got to, win that last frame. And Luca Brecel is capable of inspiration of his own. But where do you even start? Maybe if O'Sullivan misses this, it'll give him something to aim for. I mean, he's had a little burst there, O'Sullivan, which is ended by that shot, by the way, but at like a 25-minute burst of absolute sensational snooker, which has now come to an end. Who knows? If Luca can come out and win a quick frame, then maybe there's still something in this match.
Well, we know he could do it because he did it against O'Sullivan at the Crucible. It wasn't quite the same. He was 10-6 down overnight. It wasn't at the point of defeat, but he reeled off 7 frames in no time at all. But he's seen, I think, the standard now that's got to be produced to stand a chance of turning this round.
It's been a really good final. I mean, obviously, we knew it would be these two. They play such
40.
attacking snooker, lovely snooker to watch.
50.
I think Luca has played pretty well. He's just walked into something in the last couple of frames that hardly anyone can withstand.
Yeah, he had a chance for 8-7, didn't he? He just lost his way with the cue ball as he was attempting to make that clearance. And in the end, he missed a red to the green pocket by quite a distance. That's sort of where it started.
$23.
He's the only player under 30 in the top 16, Luca Brecel. So, he's got a lot of time still to achieve a lot in this sport. Even Ronnie O'Sullivan has to retire at some point. When it'll be, I wouldn't like to say the way he's playing at the moment.
30. $37. 38.
He's played that well. He didn't have a big angle, but he really got behind the red nicely. This is good
43.
from Brecel. He had a lot of sitting down time and saw balls flying in from all angles.
$44. $51.
The problem here is in potting the red that he's going to play. It's hard to see him avoiding those 6 reds. You have to really dig into the cue ball, but I still think he'll hit them. So I'm just going to try and plough through them. Has the pink come to his
52.
rescue up there? Can he get through?
Pink ball.
He's playing the pink anyway. Whether it be cushion first, I think it is.
Luca Brecel, 52.
He's been unlucky on the previous shot. I mean, he tried to top the cue ball through the bunch. You never quite know how that's going to end up.
One.
Now, the biggest problem here for Brecel is that he may have played his last shot because of the mood O'Sullivan was in for 2 frames. You just don't know. You know, you would not put it beyond O'Sullivan to dish these.
Absolutely. And once again,
6.
at the crunch in a match this week, he's come good. I mean, if you were watching the other day when he played John Higgins, you would not believe that he'd still be here now. He really struggled.
7.
John was playing good stuff, just couldn't finish it off.
The other thing I'll say though about that, in the Higgins match, the Selby match, and this match with Luca Brecel, he has finished all 3 matches very strongly. He hasn't always played well, but the last few frames in all of those, he certainly has.
Yeah, killer instinct. Ronnie O'Sullivan
40.
still top of the rankings
15.
and may well still be Shanghai Masters champion in a few minutes' time. It would be 4 in a row, remember, here.
$22. $23.
I was about to say that the problem red on the left side is the one, but I'm not even sure whether it's going to be a problem, the way he's playing.
31.
Whether he decides to play it left-handed or move it, I don't know. All shots seem to come alike right now. Maybe here he just moves the red off a red
38.
and then finds some shot on his colour. Well, that's one way the break could end.
39.
Double kiss, which you couldn't know about. Does he try and keep it going, or he's got a guaranteed snooker if he wants it? in no mood to let Brecel back to the table, and if this red goes in, I don't think he will be coming back.
Well, again, beautifully cued on the brown. This is the key shot now, surely. But it's not there. A reprieve.
Ronnie
All
O'Sullivan,
right, he's not left it
43.
on, but Brecel just delighted to see it stay out. What a result.
He gets some applause, but clearly, as good as he is, he didn't know a thing about any of that.
Brecel hoping for the best here.
I don't think Ronnie would begrudge him that, because he had a bit of fortune himself, not only with the fluke, but with the last shot. So, Luca must have been wondering if he wasn't going to get another shot. Now he's got a chance. The crowd would like to see this match continue. I mean, it's got the makings of a few more twists if he can win this frame.
One. Six.
Desperate for the cue ball to run a little bit further. I don't know if the yellow would have gone between the green and brown into that top left pocket. The answer is no, according to Hawkeye. Probably played on it in the middle. The safety shot is going to have to be good. It's going to have to be a snooker. Is he going for it? Well, why play safe? You can take a shot like that on.
Luca Brecel, 6.
I guess a lot of players would have rolled up behind the green. It's not Luca's style, is it? Maybe it's cost him this time.
2.
But it's kind of not been the fashion this evening, has it, to play like that way for either of them? But this is his chance now to get it won.
Five.
The most extraordinary player we've ever seen, and what's particularly extraordinary is that
9.
here he is, his 32nd season on tour, and he's still the man to beat. Luca Brecel is the world champion, but Ronnie O'Sullivan, world number 1, completely dominant in this tournament.
Just got one more thing to do here, and that's get some sort of an angle on the pink to make it possible to get over on the black.
14.
No, he's certainly got an angle here. Swinging the cue ball round. It looks a natural. Oh, it was a natural, but he forgot the most
14.
important part.
Well, you heard the groan from the crowd. There's a lot of distance between these two balls, though. Brecel had the best view of that.
Yes, I think he seemed to surprise the crowd. I mean, look, I don't even know. Does this cut? It's the thinnest of thin. If it does, it's a horrible shot. Oh, wow. Brilliant. And, of course, crucially,
6.
Ronnie will need the black twice to win the frame and match.
What a dramatic frame. Peggy Li trying to silence the crowd, keep them still. Brecel needs the black to extend the final, but it's not there. So it could yet be a respot.
Luca Brecel, 6.
It's well played. In fact, very well played. The object ball was obviously always going to be complete priority there.
It's a full-length double. What a frame. The final looked over. Ronnie O'Sullivan had the chance to clear. But this black flying into the yellow pocket has extended it. Extraordinary 10-8. You just get the feeling there could be some more drama to come.
Frame 19. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
So it's 10-8. Luca Brecel doubling the black at the end of that last frame to extend this final. Still a potential for 3 more.
I suppose O'Sullivan, despite his brilliance and despite the fact that he is still in front by 2, must be thinking about that pink, which was near the pocket, let's be honest. The balls he'd knocked in, you know, and if in an hour's time, does it mean that Luca's come back to beat him? Who knows? It's very surprising. Miss Luca seemed to surprise anybody. That's quite a poor safety shot. You think that the believes that the cue ball bounced unnaturally from that bottom cushion, but I don't think the line was great. He played down. And this is a long red, which could offer plenty, but by no means is it easy, this range. that is a fantastic shot. That really is. The way that he caressed that in. It was a sort of shot, I don't think he could really hit it too hard because the cue ball would probably come across beyond getting on the black. He floated it in. Well, if he's on that red up into the green pocket, it's very handy indeed. It was not what he played on by any stretch.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 8.
He knows that was potential to be the key shot, actually, if he was going to make a match-winning break. It's nicely on the black, but the red is not in. The audience are being royally entertained, aren't they? They're living every moment of this final. Yeah, excellent pot. He was always going to take one on anyway, I think, but with the red in bulk, he kind of was forced into it. So let's see, after that thrilling conclusion to the last frame, if he can now start to produce that little burst like he did in the first session, where he reeled off 3 frames in no time at all.
Five. Ten.
So he's got to take full advantage, knowing that the way O'Sullivan has started to play, then maybe one chance like this, a frame could be all you do get. Can't assume that others are going to come your way. That'll do him, I think. Shifting that red like that.
18.
Yeah, for all the sort of glamour stuff we've seen in the final, this is where the sort of boring break could actually be nice for him. Just try and
19.
make enough here. Keep in nice control to take us into another frame.
$26. 27. 34. 35.
It's pretty good stuff, isn't it? I mean, it really
40.
is. The standard of play we're seeing in this session Since the mid-session
43.
interval, it's been quite dazzling snooker from both players. Mostly O'Sullivan, but Luca's now having his say.
$50. 51.
Could play to just nudge the reds. He may not feel that he has to do that, but he might play a little delicate nudge directly into them from this blue. There is a red below the bunch he could play on. I think that's what he's decided in the end, to play on the loose one. Cannons, of course, can go wrong.
56. 57.
Well, he's looked cool here, and he's crucially just kept control. He hasn't been visiting parts of the table he didn't want to see. .56 in front.
64.
So red and a colour. It should be 10-9. Sullivan took that red onto the green pocket to try and keep the break going.
65.
But didn't get it. So one snooker required.
70.
Yeah, and one other red, I think, for Luca to definitely secure the frame.
Well,
71.
what a terrific match this is, and what an exciting finish we have in prospect. 19 frames down, 2 to go. Ronnie O'Sullivan will be hoping it's 1 to go, of course.
Well, I think we've already said it, but I'll say it again. You must never underestimate Luca Brecel. Always known as a talent, but what he's achieved this year makes us know that there's a lot more to it than that. And talent is one thing. He can do things which have surprised a lot of snooker people when he won that world title. The manner in all those victories, the comebacks, everything. He's not out of this match by any means.
Yeah, and of course O'Sullivan had a ringside seat
83.
in Sheffield for that in the quarter-final. A lot happened after that, of course. Cue balls having the nerve to go in the pocket, so it's not a century, but a fine 83 from Luca Brecel to extend the match further. There's a potential for 2 more. O'Sullivan 10, Brecel 9.
From 20. Luca Brecel to break.
So now it just feels like Ronnie O'Sullivan is slightly on the back foot, having been Luca firmly in that position for the onslaught O'Sullivan put up to him. I mean, wouldn't it be something if it did go all the way to 10-all? It really would be amazing, given the sort of match it's been. It's been cavalier approach from both players.
The 2 invitation finals O'Sullivan's won here were both 11-9 actually, against Hawkins and Murphy. You'd love that right now, of course.
1.
It's not a favourable kiss, not really. Goodness, he's looking at the blue here. Wow, this is a massive shot to be playing. Well, I think it's just the pace which stopped it going in. It was very, very close. Played any slower, I think it would have just gone in. He knows how close.
One. Eight. Nine.
Well, that looks A1 to get into the bunch here. They're very, very tightly grouped, though. And they kind of still are. It was a really compacted bunch of reds, which
16.
you've got to sort of almost get the magic shot in to spread them. Sullivan couldn't quite manage it there for once. Usually he does it.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 16.
We've not seen that much safety, I suppose, this evening, but some good stuff being played here.
Well, I mean, the way these two have been potting, the safety is probably more important than ever when it happens.
Foul. And a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
Thinness of edges is what he was hoping for. He might get a chance to play it better because the balls are being replaced. Of course, he has got a clear shot at reds, but he doesn't want to play anything else. Should he miss again, it'll be a different thing, because he'll play an alternative shot. But for now, we'll just see what happens on attempt number 2. It looks like he's playing a safety shot with a view to maybe nudging the red to the left of the blue in off of another red. Well, safety shot was priority.
Yeah, the world's loudest sneeze didn't put him off either. Well, it's the calm before what seems likely to be another storm of some sort from one of these two. They played at the Masters, didn't they, at the start of the year, and Brecel was well beaten there, 6-1. But of course, having won the World Championship is just a completely different feel to him, and feel, I'm sure, to playing him as well. Everyone having seen firsthand what he's capable of.
I think back then, you know, before he moved his game up a notch, someone like his style would be tailor-made for O'Sullivan, but not when he's knocking everything in from all angles. It's not really tailor-made for anyone, someone doing that. It's kind of where his game's been for a good few months. So we've always known it's in there somewhere. Certain players, it never seems to emerge, but mercifully, in the case of Luca, it's all clicked for him. This is really tough. To get the cue ball up well, though, it's a good shot. Always a chance of a double kiss on those shots if you catch it too thinly. At least he's kind of taken the sting out of the match, this frame. Safety bout like this. Sort of brought both players down to earth with a bit of a bump, this exchange.
See all the dignitaries there having taken their seats. Of course, taken a lot of planning to get these events back on in China. A lot of work's been done on both sides to establish 4 events this season, and this one has been terrific.
One.
Well, that's no good to him. No good at all.
No, ever since he missed that pink to, well, he landed on the black, so it was potentially to kill the match off 11-7. Things haven't quite gone for him. It looks quite troublesome getting back down the table. I think the red and the pink close together are a bit of a target
to hit on the way back up if you're not careful, because target you want to avoid, not hit. So this is not the most straightforward of safety shots. Well, he did well to avoid those two balls anyway. The red and the pink. But it's a congested table. And in an otherwise free scoring evening session here in Shanghai. That was very sweet. Very sweet. And after all those breaks, that little spell where he hit back-to-back hundreds, including the highest break of the Shanghai Masters, here, be looking for about a 50 break, I think. And that would be quite something where the balls are. Get a big kick there. Cue ball didn't really move very far.
5.
I think what he's thinking is, I can pot the red, yes, but how on earth do I get on a colour? Been quite lucky there. He has left a red.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 5.
But the red that he's left is not easy. This wasn't particularly close. I think his mind was on what the cue ball was going to do. If Luca takes on this red, I think he pretty much has to go in. Oh, what a shot that is. What a shot. That has really put him into a position where he can get himself in front now. Just finished in between on about a choice of 3 reds here.
Well, straight away it's turned into another adventure, this.
Yeah, it is an adventure, and it's just a question of one
11.
positional shot which could put him in an even better place than he is now. At the moment, he's just chasing this break a little bit to make it happen. Didn't have enough right-hand side on it. Don't know if the black goes to the middle, but even then it'd be a horrid shot. I think he surely has to play a safety shot here. It's going to have to be a good one. That was the moment, wasn't it? You wonder if it was just all a bit too much. Just couldn't quite drag this break along. He was one sort of shot behind on position. It's not the easiest safety shot, in fact. How do you get up the table? Can you see the wrong edge of pink and black? Neither of which take him for easy safety. He's going for it. He's going for it.
Luca Brecel, 12.
That was horrid, but let's be honest, he didn't have many options. Maybe he kind of half went for it and hoped that O'Sullivan might have difficulty with this.
One.
Well, there's a lot of work to do yet, but you can certainly take it to a point where he won't need the yellow. With enough reds here. It's already 19 in front.
7.
Yeah, that cue ball just went on, didn't it? A little too far. Both players have had a real problem in this frame. It's been awkward.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 14.
A handy lead, though, isn't it? 27 points in the context of a frame where the balls are everywhere, basically.
Yeah, it would be ironic, really, if this was the frame that won him the whole tournament, because it's been not at all representative of the match overall, which has been very free flowing.
Well, that's a magnificent shot. And dropping it in, playing up the table against the net. You've got to drop it slowly. Incredible shot, really. Easy to misjudge. So what is his aims here? I think he's got to just try and get somewhere near Ronnie O'Sullivan's point score in this frame. It's not really easy to see how he could win the frame here. In fact, it'd be very difficult to, but just get a few points back.
caught the green, so it's real swimming through glue stuff, this frame. It's a real trudge, but obviously so important. 10-9.
Well, he was up straight away, even before the cue ball had reached already. Knew he hadn't got the shot right.
Amazing. He was not going to take his eye off that red, was he? So certainly a chance for Brecel to make the frame, be scoring the frame closer. It's been a very disjointed affair.
One.
Well, this is a better chance than some of the ones that have gone before, isn't it? With the balls up the table now looking more promising.
Eight.
I don't know if there's just a thought somewhere in his mind that he could swing the cue ball round onto the yellow here, develop it. It's the only ball that's going to cause him a problem. Don't think he did play that.
9.
That's obviously a good shot. The yellow will be an issue later, but not just yet. It's getting very tense. It's a different atmosphere. It's been a terrific day. Wonderful break building, both players. Now, the tension's crept in, and it's kind of how you almost want these matches to end, with a bit of a nail biter. We could be on for one.
15.
Just a slight issue with getting on that red up by the green. If he could have been perhaps on the green itself or the brown, it'd be easy. But if he's on the blue and he leaves all those balls up there, getting on the red's not easy. So I think he
16.
is playing on the green. Very nice.
$19. $20.
I just think he had to play the cannon there like he did. I mean, he just couldn't play on the yellow. It would be horrible along that cushion to get on the green. It's not worked. Well, for once, a very cautious shot from Brecel. It was just about getting the yellow ball safe. He didn't try anything else. No frills on that one.
You got to think whoever gets first chance at the yellow is a big favourite for the frame. In O'Sullivan's case, the match. Everything else is there.
Wow. Enemies. Luca Brecel, 4. From here?
He's putting him in from where the cue ball is.
Interesting. I can't see much difference really between the two places. If anything, it could be easier from here. No, well, this tempt him because by no means is this an easy shot. Doesn't like to refuse much, Brecel.
Ronnie and the miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 7.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't entirely sure, but I suppose the black wouldn't have moved otherwise.
Brecel was very quick to call it himself. Well, that is not one of his best. He walks away rather despondently.
Well, yes, Dave. I mean, it could be end of match, but this is not easy. It might have been on his mind to do something of that kind, to cover it. I'm not ruling that out. Obviously he went for the pot, but he knew that the second prize might have been something like that. Oh, this looks vile, doesn't it? Playing with the spider into the cushion, looking away from the ball you're trying to hit. I mean, this is pretty evil business, this one. What a shot. What a shot. I think of players who might have been there 10 minutes trying to hit that. Me, one of them.
Well, this is by far the longest frame of the match, 31 minutes. Sullivan continuing to turn the screw. Looking for a good chance at the yellow and therefore to take out this final.
Well, he needs help here. He needs help. Has he got cover or not? Is there a little gap through there? If it is, goodness, it could be the most golden of chances. Well, there was a gap. There was a gap.
The crowd getting ready to celebrate with him. It's been a fun match, this. Highly entertaining.
5.
Brecel needs a late twist.
Well, the only glimmer is he hasn't got straight on this brown. Straight on the brown, he cannot fail. He's got an angle. He's got to maybe go around the houses. I'm sure he'll do it. But if he's closer to the brown straighter, there's no problem at all. So his
9.
only hope, Brecel, rests on this somehow not being potted.
Well, it's been a frame of
Ronnie
twists.
O'Sullivan, 9.
He could have left himself, of course, a much easier blue than that, and he hasn't potted it. That was match ball, tournament ball.
I'll say one thing, the amount of time I watched snooker with Jimmy White and watched and marvel over O'Sullivan, and we've said one thing about him, just to pot a ball without any position like that, he occasionally misses them. You know, it's almost you're doing nothing but trying to pot it, and that has caused him problems before, and it's done it again. Massive miss. He's willing this blue ball to come down the table here is Luca. I don't know why he hit it quite that hard. There had to be a controlled pace about it that was a little slower than that.
Second chance at the blue, and this time it's in. So 14 in front, 13 on. It's been that sort of frame, though, you know, you wouldn't be surprised if there was more drama to come. One snooker required. Otherwise, it's O'Sullivan's title again.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 5.
It's been a great match, but I think it's about to end. A very nervy frame, not in keeping with what we've seen before, but brilliant all the same.
In it goes. Relief in the end. Ronnie O'Sullivan reigns supreme in Shanghai once more. His 4th success in a row in the Shanghai Masters. A really entertaining contest with the world champion Luca Brecel ends in a very scrappy frame. But Ronnie O'Sullivan, once again, he's the king here in Shanghai. He's beaten Luca Brecel by 11 frames to 9. Yeah, no great celebrations, just as I say, relief to get it done because it was getting very nervy. Luca Brecel, as always, went for his shots, took the game to O'Sullivan. There were a few moments here and there where it could have changed, but incredible to think that for a 4th staging in a row, O'Sullivan will be taking home that lovely trophy. So that concludes the Shanghai Masters, and what a terrific return it's been to China. We've missed coming here, first World Snooker Tour event in 4 years. Ronnie O'Sullivan, of course, there are times during the week he could have been put away, John Higgins particularly, but of course O'Sullivan not only came through that, he's taken the high break as well from Higgins, 1-4-3. we'll have the presentation shortly, but just brief reflection, Neal. Been great to be back in China, and he's the man again here in Shanghai.
Yeah, the celebration's muted, a little sheepish almost shake of the hand with Luca Brecel. You know, he's got a little bit of revenge back for that World Championship defeat, but he is the man here in Shanghai, and we did wonder just what kind of form he's in. We know now, don't we? He's playing brilliantly. Well done, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Please stay tuned.
Well, the ceremony's coming up in due course. It's always quite a grand affair here, of course. Just to say, on Discovery Plus, there's more snooker tomorrow, Monday. The International Championship qualifiers will be running all week. Viewers on Eurosport International can watch the British Open in just over a week's time. And then for everybody following straight on, it's the English Open, the start of the home nations in Brentwood, and then the new Wuhan Open in Wuhan, China, follows straight on. So it's a very busy time. And, well, bring it on. We, of course, love the snooker here on Discovery Plus, and I hope you can join us for all of that. But all that remains now is for the prize to be presented, and the big check as well. And we'll see all the dignitaries who, as I say, have worked so hard to get snooker back on here in China. Not just this event, but the 4 that are on the World Snooker Tour for the rest of this season. It's a packed calendar. And credit as well to all the guys who've turned out, the fans here. Have really enjoyed their week, and they always like to see Ronnie win, and they've seen it again. Still, it's 2016 since he last lost here. Michael Holt still has that record as the last man to beat him in Shanghai.